to the head of the fungus. She's right to be nervous.
Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. I have some news and I want to be transparent about everything as far as what happened, why I titled the video this, what's going on, and is it going on with the previous situation. So for the people who have been watching me for a while, you've seen, what was it, a week or two ago, I made the video about 1 month update living in Vietnam. In that video, you can hear my voice is harsh. You know, I talk about how I'm sick, sore throat, etc. Yes, this is all related. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. And this has been going on maybe, has to be around 12 to 17 days roughly now. And I know you're thinking, hey, you're just not going to the hospital. I can explain all that. I'm going to explain it all one by one. Why I waited to go, everything. But first, I want to talk about the origin story. So I made a video some time back, and I talked about me going to Vung Tau. For those who don't know, Vung Tau is a beach town that is outside of Ho Chi Minh City. It's roughly, I think, 3 hours by boat. You know, it's longer if you take traffic. But I wanted the boat route. I wanted the scenic route. Now, somewhere between a day before that time frame and a day after is when I believe I initially got sick. So, I will say leading up to that, I had like 2 or 3 nights where I didn't sleep the right way. You know, I was eating a lot of sugars. And I normally don't eat sugars and dairy and all that stuff, but I'm like, yo, I'm in Asia. I haven't been here in a little minute. Let me enjoy myself. So I'm eating a lot of coffee, tea, all that type of stuff, you know, stuff that usually I shouldn't be eating. I'll be straightforward, honest with you. But also, there's less chemicals and preservatives out here. But let's get to the story, right? So I also ate street food that same day when I went to Vung Tau. So I'm off no sleep. I'm eating foods that I normally shouldn't agree with. Ate some street food while I'm there. And I think that plus changing the environment. And also in that video, I talked about how I went to another city. And that other city I went to had a lot of pollution and plastic, and kids were playing in the ocean. I'm looking, that's why I got immediately out of that city, because I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing kids playing in the pollution water and all that stuff. So somewhere around that time frame is where I got sick. Still don't know 100% with certainty what's going on, and I'm going to explain that here shortly. But it started off with a sore throat. So the day after that trip, I noticed immediately my voice was like, my throat was hurting. I was like, oh, I know what this is. It's a sore throat. It's been a couple years since I had one, but I just know the feeling. So I'm like, yeah, lately I've been getting lucky. If I go to sleep early and sleep in a lot, my body fights stuff. So if I feel like I got a cold or something coming on, I just fight stuff. That's how it's been the last couple years. So I'm thinking it's going to be the same. So I'm like, all right, let me immediately go to sleep. So I quit everything I'm doing. I was supposed to do an interview with someone that day. Cancel the interview like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well. Forgive me. Went to sleep, right? Woke up. It's still there. I'm like, oh, no. Slept the next day. When I get up the next day, it's even worse. I got a fever. My head is aching. My body feels like it's shaking. This is one of the worst headaches I ever had in my life. You know, my brother called me, but I couldn't even really talk because I'm like, yo, I can't even think right now. It's hard to think. But long story short, took some pain medicine. The next day, the body ache and the headache was gone. So I'm like, okay, this is a good sign. So probably everything else is going to leave soon. I still got the sore throat, still coughing a lot. And at this point, the coughing is starting to pick up. But I'm like, oh, maybe it's my body trying to get rid of it. So I'm like, I'm still trying to hang in there. You know, I'm asking ChatGPT and all this type of stuff. What should I do? What should I do? By the way, don't rely on ChatGPT. Make sure you go to the hospital as soon as possible, especially if it's anything that lasts longer than a day or two. But long story short, I'm trying to toughen it out. I went to like a pharmacy after a couple days, took some medicine, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. Took some medicine, ended up getting rid of everything except the sore throat. But this is the interesting part. This is the part where I didn't go to the hospital. One, because yes, I am scared of hospitals. It's a superstition. I'm sorry. I'm being vulnerable with y'all. You know, this YouTube thing is not about just showing the highlights and making things positive. We gotta talk about the negative stuff too, or the stuff that's unfavorable. And I realize being vulnerable is like a power, right? You want to share with people. So the sore throat, though, after about somewhere around day 5 to 8, it actually started to go away. So I'm starting to feel myself like, oh yeah, I'm back, baby, you know? So I started eating more sugar and dairy again. And then what's funny enough, the day after I did that, it like reemerged. I'm like, oh no, I messed up. I should have not did it, you know? And it came back for like 2, 3 days, and then it went away again. And I'm like, okay, this is a good sign. And then it came back. And this time when it came back, the coughing was intense with it. There was like 4 days where I couldn't sleep because the coughing would start at like 11 p.m. and then it'd go to like 5 a.m. So strange. It's like coincidentally when I'm trying to sleep, it could only do these hours. And what's crazy is it's not about laying down either, because let's say I lay down at 8 p.m. It wouldn't happen. It only happened during these hours. And I found out some research online that I guess we have an internal clock in our system, and my body was maybe trying to outsmart it or something, so it's going off my internal clock or whatever. I get past that, right? It keeps going on and off, on and off. My sore throat is mostly gone. You know, for the last couple of days, I've been coughing up mucus, all that stuff. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is over. It's kind of uncomfortable to talk about, but I'm just going to say it. About 3 days ago, started having, diarrhea. So I'm like, oh man, I mean, I had this before. I'm thinking maybe it's my body trying to fight off whatever. Like, these are the final steps I'm releasing. Because remember, I just told you last couple of days I've been coughing up mucus. So I'm thinking, okay, it's coming out both ways. My body's getting rid of it. I'm good. Normally when I have diarrhea, it's only for a day or two. So here we are at day 3, and it actually started to speed up. So I'm like, oh no, yeah, I gotta go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. I went to Google, like, yo, where's the best hospital out here? It's like, yo, you gotta pay a premium. I'm like, yeah, I understand, because I'm looking for a Western hospital. I want the best. I go there, because by the way, how can I say this? I've been to some hospitals before out here, just for like a checkup or whatever. And I've seen some things in there that was not ideal. So I'm like, yo, I'll pay top dollar to go to a better one. And this one is going to be a private one instead of a public one. Not too much difference, I'll be straight up with you. It's just less volume there, so you meet less people, so you may be less contaminants in the air or whatever. But I get there immediately. Remember I told y'all about my experiences out here as far as charges. Immediately when I get there, they was like, just let you know, today's a holiday and we're going to have to charge you extra. I'm like, what? Yes, we charge extra today. How much more? It was like a 60% surcharge. I'm like, but I'm already here, right? So I'm not trying to fight them. I'm not trying to argue with them. I'm just like, whatever, pay the extra fee. Go through the hospital, get all these different tests and stuff like that. Well, actually, it just did the blood tests, and they tried to charge me extra. For some additional tests within the blood. I was like, why is there 5 different tests showing? Because they show you the price before, and it was like USD price, like American price. I'm like, hold on, something's not making sense here, right? Typically, when you go to these places, it will be, more affordable. So then I started questioning things. He's like, well, actually, you technically don't need this. So I was like, yep, he was trying to upcharge me the whole time. But I ended up doing the test, blood test. Blood test came back good, and then they also pumped me with IV fluid for like electrolytes, all that type of stuff. First time doing that, I felt amazing doing that. I recommend that, if anyone's never done that. And there's certain things I kind of don't want to say about the hospital yet, but I'm just sticking on the sickness right now. Maybe I'll make an additional follow-up video. But as far as the sickness, they said, hey, we actually want a stool test as well. But guess what happened? At that morning, I think it was at 9:30 a.m., which is today, by the way, my last run came out. That's the one that made me go to the hospital because I'm like now because I used to go every 4 hours when I was had the diarrhea, but then this morning it sped up. It was coming like every 30 minutes. So that was my last one. It made me go to the hospital, but since then I haven't gone. So when he's like, "Yo, we want a stool test," I'm like, "Yo, I don't got nothing in me." He's like, "All right, take it home. If you do it at home, bring it back. Blah blah blah." And that's where we're at with it. So I just wanted to give y'all that update because I haven't. If you notice, I haven't uploaded in like 4 or 5 days, and that's the reason why. Because I've just been going through with this. It's been on and off. It's been very bad. It actually reminded me of my situation in South Korea. For those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know, had a situation somewhat similar to this in South Korea that was extremely scary. But that's where we're at right now. When I left the hospital, they didn't give me anything, like no medicine. I'm like, they are waiting on the stool test. He said I could give you antibiotics, but at the same time, he says he wants to be sure. So he left the choice up to me. He said, if you really want it, I'll give you some, but I prefer we wait for the test. So we're gonna wait for the test. So that's where we're at right now. Just want to give y'all that update. And that's why I am particularly in the hospital. I do believe it's food poison related and potentially mental as well, because your thoughts do have powers over you, and I believe in the law of attraction and positive thinking. In days before this, I had a lot of negative thoughts about my situation here and with other things. And I think that negative thinking plus the potential food poisoning or bad food and the lack of sleep and then eating the dairy and sugar may just do something off, or maybe I caught some type of bug, whatever. But it looks like we are on the last leg because I haven't had a sore throat in a couple of days. I do occasional coughing throughout the day, but I don't do heavy coughing like I was doing at night. So I am actually able to sleep, minus the diarrhea I had for the last 3 days. Prior to that, I was actually sleeping a full night's sleep. So it is now currently, I think, 7 p.m. So it's been almost 12 hours since I last went. So it leads me to believe that we are finally done as far as the diarrhea. So I'm between that and the sore throat gone and the headache being gone, everything, I think we are at the final stages. We're gonna stay positive. We're gonna stay optimistic. I appreciate everybody's support. If y'all could help me through this time, I just appreciate simple things, right? Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff. We're gonna stay positive regardless of what's going on. I still recommend people. I don't want you to think my experience is going to be your experience, right? So you may come out here and have a different experience of it. So don't let me shine a light that may be perceived as negative, as bad. There's still some good things out here and some good people out here. Excuse me. But I'll keep y'all updated. I am going to make another part to this, and I'm actually going to talk about certain things that I've seen in that hospital and why I may never want to go to a hospital out here again.